An investigation is underway in Savannah, Georgia, following a deadly cargo plane crash. The military aircraft was on its way to Arizona when it crashed near Savannah Hilton Head International Airport moments after takeoff. The plane was carrying members of the Puerto Rican Air National Guard. Also new this morning, several police officers were hurt last night during a house explosion in North Haven, Connecticut. The incident occurred as police and SWAT were on the scene investigating a domestic situation. Authorities say a man had his wife barricaded inside of the home for 3 days. The wife escaped before the explosion. The husband was still inside the home, though police say they haven't made any contact with him since he's been barricaded. It's unclear what caused the explosion. And President Trump's new attorney, Rudy Giuliani, says the president reimbursed Michael Cohen for the $130,000 payment to Stormy Daniels. Giuliani made the bombshell claim during an appearance on Fox's Hannity Wednesday. The president has maintained he didn't know about the payment his personal attorney made to the adult film star. In education news, the top pick for Billings School District 2 superintendent job has decided to pass on the job offer. Dr. Ross Kaysen, a New Jersey superintendent, apparently opted out due to unspecified events in his life. In a letter sent to the Board of Trustees, Dr. Ross Kaysen informed the district the timing was not right for him to make such a significant professional and personal change. We're told the negotiation process really hadn't begun. Kaysen said he was quite impressed with the district's staff and board, but for SD2, it's on to the next candidate.
The district obviously is disappointed. Dr. Kaysen was someone who I know folks were excited to have come to the district. At the same time, this was a tough decision for the board in choosing a new superintendent because they had such great candidates.
Helena Assistant Superintendent Greg Upham, another finalist for the job in Billings, will be contacted to discuss his possible employment. Now on to flood watch. Montana Governor Steve Bullock declares a flooding emergency for all of Montana. With most of the state seeing above average snowfall and snowpack this winter, the recent warm temperatures and rain is kicking the spring meltdown in gear. Governor Bullock says the State Emergency Coordination Center already has received numerous emergency declarations from local and tribal jurisdictions. The first flooding of the spring started in mid-April when 7 north central Montana counties, the Fort Belknap Reservation, and the town of Chester reported the first high water. Since then, the Clark Fork River has flooded Missoula neighborhoods. The Milk River near Glasgow is out of its banks, and Lewis and Clark County is dealing with plenty of small stream flooding.
By issuing this now, the counties won't have to wait on me if they have an emergency declaration. So we want to be fully prepared so that our county and tribal areas can have all the resources they need as we deal with both warming temperatures and the real potential flooding.
The statewide declaration also allows the governor to mobilize the Montana National Guard to protect life, health, and property. In Stillwater County, the sheriff's office is asking for your help to locate a missing person. 45-year-old Paul Batson has not been seen or heard from since his car was found April 29th in Reed Point. His disappearance is considered suspicious. Batson is 6 feet 2 inches tall and was driving a gray 2016 Dodge Charger. Anyone with information can contact the Stillwater County Sheriff's Office at 322-5326 and ask for Sergeant Randy Smith. Turning to Crime Watch, authorities have released the name of the man who shot at 2 probation officers before engaging in a 2-hour standoff in downtown Billings. 60-year-old Michael Jeffrey Anderson was rushed to a hospital following Tuesday night's standoff. Authorities are not reporting the extent of Anderson's injuries, but we're told he's in stable condition. The Department of Justice expects to file charges against Anderson in the next week. Anderson is serving probation for 2 weapons charges, including a conviction for assault with a weapon in 2007 and a 2009 federal conviction for felon in possession of a machine gun. The 2 probation officers who exchanged gunfire with Anderson are now on administrative leave. Now we go to Yellowstone National Park, where the first bison horse incident of the year has been reported. A 72-year-old Boise woman is recovering after she was knocked down by the bison near Old Faithful on Tuesday. The woman was butted in the thigh, pushed and tossed off a trail. The woman told park rangers she didn't see the bison as she walked around a bend in the trail and was unable to move out of the way in time. Fortunately, the woman suffered only minor injuries. Last year, there was only one incident incident, but in 2015, 5 tourists were injured in confrontations with park bison. In other news from the park, the notoriously fickle Steamboat geyser in Norris Geyser Basin has erupted 3 times since mid-March. Before that, Steamboat hadn't erupted since 2014. MTN's John Shear reports on what Steamboat's new thermal activity means.
It's so loud. There was such a tremendous roar.
It sounds like a freight train is moving through here.
Those are Yellowstone National Park employees who witnessed the last big Steamboat eruption in 2014. They described seeing a plume of steam rising from a distance. Then, when they got closer,
and we get down to the lower platform and we just start getting
Drenched, raining sand and silica.
this is what Steamboat looks like right now. The eruption last week was a lot larger than this, but still not nearly as spectacular as in the past.
A very robust monitoring network is in place in Yellowstone National Park that monitors earthquakes.
And those monitors clearly show the difference between Steamboat 2018 and 2014. That's 2014 at the top of the chart. Seismologists say those eruptions were more than twice as big as the ones this spring. But that doesn't mean Steamboat is small. In fact, it's a monster. Even those little eruptions that we've seen this spring are 10 times the size of a typical Old Faithful blast. But Old Faithful got its name for a reason. You can practically set your watch by it. Not so much for Steamboat. After 1911, it went to sleep for 50 years. Then, it roared to life in 1961, picked up the pace in 62, and was spouting water at a twice-a-month rate through 1965. And eventually took a 9-year rest before shooting skyward again in 1982 and 83. So what's going on?
A mass of very hot molten rock, which we call magma, moving up towards the surface.
But what exactly causes Steamboat to wake up and go crazy at wild intervals? Scientists have an easy explanation. They don't really know. Still, most scientists who are posting about thermal activity in Yellowstone don't think this is a prelude to a volcanic eruption. And most say any activity is likely to be small scale. Well, sort of.
Might be as large as a Mount St. Helens sort of eruption, or even much smaller than that. Maybe an individual vent that puts out a very nice Hawaiian-type basalt flow.
In the meantime, enjoy the water and steam show.
It's an experience unlike any other that I've witnessed.
Spectacular. It's amazing.
In Bozeman, I'm John Shearer for MTN News.
Steamboat Geyser is part of the Norris Geyser Basin, and the road to Norris is now open for the season. But beware, if you're heading south from Mammoth, there are delays due to road construction. On to consumer news. Montana's traditional lodging industry believes that Airbnb rentals may not be paying their fair share of lodging taxes, and the state should consider legislation to even the playing field. The Montana Lodging and Hospitality Association released a study this week that shows the online rental service Airbnb collected $69 million in revenue in Montana last year. Airbnb says that number is inaccurate and that the revenue is closer to $20 million. Association Director Stuart Doggett says the revenue is subject to the state's 7% lodging tax, but it's not all being collected. The State Revenue Department also says it told Airbnb owners last summer they're subject to the lodging tax and should pay it. But Doggett says the hotel-motel industry believes legislation is needed to clearly identify who pays the tax for Airbnb rentals and how it should be collected.
It isn't enough money that it matters to our state's economy. We would like the Department of Revenue and others to work with us on passing some legislation because we just think that there's some money that's not being collected that could benefit our government.
Last year, the state lodging tax brought in $54 million. In other news, it's a house with a long history in the Magic City, and its position perched along the Billings rims is a place few can call home. But on Tuesday, that chance opened up.
Bid it to 200,000, bid it to 222, bid it to 200,000, 210, 10, 10, bid it to 210,000, 210,000, bid it to 210.
Wednesday's fast-paced auction for the Morledge home started with a minimum bid of just $200,000. The house on Mountain View Boulevard was built in '68 with state-of-the-art architectural engineering. Billings looked quite a bit different in the late '60s, and that was the goal for Dr. Morledge and his wife when designing their dream home. As you can see, that engineering has withstood the test of time against Montana's weather extremes. Unfortunately, the auction did not bring in the desired amount, so the house is still up for grabs. Before we take a break, NASA is getting some much-needed help exploring the universe from ordinary folks all around the world. CBS's Chris Martinez shows us how crowdsourcing is allowing citizen scientists to help make discoveries that are out of this world.
From the comfort of his home in Queens, New York, Tony Hoffman is exploring the universe.
When new data is uploaded, I will tend to look at that on a daily basis.
Tony is a citizen scientist helping NASA hunt for undiscovered planets. A project called Exoplanet Explorers allows amateurs around the world to access data online from the Kepler telescope. Every 3 months, the spacecraft beams back 100 million new images of our galaxy.
And they get stored in here.
Dr. Jesse Christensen says so much was coming in, overwhelmed scientists turned to the public for help.
So there are many more planets in the data than we can handle as a professional astronomy community.
It paid off. Within the first 48 hours of releasing images online, citizen scientists discovered a new 5-planet system. They found it by viewing hundreds of images of the same spot in space, looking for tiny spots and stars that suggest a planet might be passing by.
We try to make it easy enough that anyone can do it, and we have people from high school students all the way up to retirees.
NASA now says 2 days of work by their citizen scientists is the equivalent of one full-time researcher working for 3 years. It's a labor of love for planet hunters like Tony.
You're working as a team.
He's hoping the next major discovery might be just a few clicks away. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Pasadena, California.
NASA launched the Kepler telescope 9 years ago. In that time, it's helped discover 2,500 planets.